They fail 100% of the time for those that don't participate. Let me give you an example, and then we'll come back to money.
Okay.
Gravity is a strategy or a principle or a law. You can use any of those words you want to interchangeably. But gravity works 100% of the time for 100% of the people who are involved in that. We're all involved in that to a degree. Now, there's no getting around it. That's why we're not floating. Gravity is at work. But if we go on top of a 20-story building and walk off the side, we'll see gravity works for every person who walk off the side of that building. They will hit the ground. Won't be no stopping, won't be no supernatural just floating and flying away. So now let's talk about a financial strategy. Okay, a financial strategy is in place every day that says if you spend more money than you make, that's going to affect your life because they got all these systems in place. They're going to affect your credit. Your credit is going to affect how much you borrow. When you borrow more and more money, you're going to pay a higher interest rate. So that strategy there is one that called correct your credit scores and minimize your expenses. That strategy will work for anyone who get their credit scores in line. They can then go refinance their credit cards, as an example, and pay less. A strategy, of course, in this country, we have to pay taxes. A strategy works. If you get a business, you pay less percentage in taxes than does a person who does not have a business. So we have to look at these are strategies that work 100% of the time for 100% of the participants.
Now, you just spouted out 3 very important strategies, and I love that you compared them to gravity because you don't have to believe in gravity for it to be the truth, okay? You don't have to believe in it. You don't even have to believe in some of the strategies you said about it. You don't have to believe in it, but it does work, okay? If you do this, whether you believe it or not, you're going to get this result. That's just that, right?
Just that, just the way it works. It's designed to work that way. And in this world, I mean, I'm a biblical person, and people that know me know this about me. But here's what the Bible says. The Bible says to us that we should obey the laws of the land. Well, I did not make the laws of the land, but the laws of the land does give advantages, does give what many people call loopholes. They're actually tax deductions, but I'll go ahead and use a word that people are familiar with. The laws of the land does give what we call loopholes to business owners. So I, as a business owner, was talking to one of my very good friends for about 40 years now. He asked me the other day, he says, did the current tax plan that President Trump and the Republicans put in place, did it help you? I said, yes, absolutely. It helped me personally because I'm a business owner. It helped MyEcon, the corporation, save thousands and thousands of dollars. And over the time that this program is in place, we will save millions of dollars on taxes. So yes, that program helped us, had nothing to do with whether I'm a Republican, Democrat, black, white, whatever. We just got involved because we're business owners. And it works 100% of the time for 100% of the business owners.
Now, it's interesting you mentioned that tax break that Mr. Trump did because today is the 1-year anniversary of it. A year ago today is when that new tax bill was signed into the law. And CNN did a report on it today, just today, about who did it benefit 1 year later. And there was 2 categories that it benefited. One was millionaires. Whoever was a millionaire got benefited when this tax law went into place. And large corporations benefited. But that was it. You know, no, that's what CNN's premise was. Those
well, let me say this, and I, because I understand the law very well and how it works. Okay, it benefited our corporation, which is a C corporation. We are one of those large multi-million-dollar corporations that it benefited greatly. I am personally a millionaire, and it personally benefited me greatly.
That's 2 stores for you.
Both of these things that you just said, I didn't watch CNN. I don't know what they said. But I can tell you it personally benefited me. Let me tell you some people that in my own family that it did not benefit. In fact, they're going to pay more taxes as a result of this. Okay, my son, he works for a restaurant here, makes about $30,000 a year. He's single with no children. He's going to get $12,000 in tax deductions. By the time he pays state and federal income taxes, he's going to pay almost $4,000 in taxes off a $30,000 income.
Hmm.
Well, that's huge. But if he
Yes.
would just get a home-based business, stop thinking it's got to do with daddy, go get a home-based business. Now he could write off another $15,000, $20,000 worth of taxes, the taxable income, which is deductions, and pay no taxes. But if he refuses to do that, he's going to pay $4,000 in taxes. If he chooses to do that, he can
So
not
much brilliance in that. It's even Mr. Curry's son, the source. He's going to work a job and not have a home-based business and get bent over by the government. Okay.
Absolutely.
Forgive my metaphor. Okay, but that's not good. $30,000 again. That's horrible, actually. But if he had a home-based business, he could write off. You just spouted up. Now for you, it comes off the top of your head. He could spout up. He could save so much on taxes. You know, say that number again.
He could pay all of it. He wouldn't pay a dime.
He wouldn't pay a dime if he had a home-based business.
A person that makes less than $100,000 a year should not pay any tax of federal income taxes.
Boom. That could be revolutionary for somebody.
Let's prove that. There are millions of people, according to the IRS, millions of people that make $100,000 and less that pay zero federal income taxes every year. The IRS know who they are. We didn't say you shouldn't file. We said you shouldn't be paying taxes. We'll be very clear. You should file correctly. But if you do that, we're in the tax filing season. Quit looking for a big refund. Look to pay no taxes and then take that money and let's get out of debt. These are strategies.
Yes.
100% of the time if you apply them. Now, when you don't apply them, let's take my son. I know because I don't want to talk about anybody else. If he see it and get mad, that's okay. Get mad and get in business deal. Okay. So I don't want to put it on anybody else. But if he sees it, people say he looks just like you. Well, he don't act just like me. Okay. So anyway, if he sees it, he get mad, he just be, that's why you said about me. Well, is it true? Do you have a business? Do you do this? Is this way? So I'm not saying that because I want to criticize, but I really don't want to pinpoint or try to talk about some other people I know because they may be offended. I don't want them to be offended. I want them to understand, okay, guys, here's all I'm trying to say to you, is the laws of the land was not made for Republicans. They were not made for Democrats. They were not made for whites, blacks, Asian, Hispanic, male, female. The laws of the land were made as the laws of the land. You can agree with them or disagree, but you have to now submit to them. So now that you are submitting to them, that means when you file your taxes, you're going to pay taxes based upon this law. Now, they have other exceptions to the law if you choose to get involved. If you don't choose to get involved, then you're going to pay more in taxes.
Wow. Now, this show goes until 12:30. It's already 12:13. It goes by so fast. Yeah, I hope whomever's on here or watch this is getting some value. But Mr. Curry has said some, to me, revolutionary things in the first 13 minutes. And I've been around him a few times, and I hadn't heard you say that before. If you're earning less than $100,000 a year, you should be paying no taxes because there are strategies available to you. Because of the strategies available to you, which kind of where I wanted this show to go. We're going to move into last week, late in the show, we brought up the concept of more than one stream of income, a supplemental income, multiple streams of income. It was late in the show. We didn't get a chance to get into it deep. But I kind of want to spend some time talking about the why you must or the value of having more than one source of income. If you could.
Okay, let's do this, Brian. Let's do this. Okay. In America today, when people, the average person, that's probably 80 to 85% of the people in this country, when they think of income, they always think of a job. So they go out to get them a job. If they think they need more income, they do what? Get me a part-time job. If they think they need still more income, they look for a third job. Yes. Well, let me show you the difference of why MyEcon system is different. Okay, I believe a person ought to have a job, especially until they can position themselves to be independent of a job. So
did y'all hear what he said? Did y'all hear what he just said? Go ahead, please.
And we want to cover that just a little bit later. But let me push this first. Let me put this out there first. Okay, now here's the thing. If you have a job and that job takes care of your basic needs and you need more income, well, the first thing you do, if you get a home-based business, now you will position yourself not to pay taxes. The tax dollars coming back into your life is the income you would make on the second job. So instead of getting a second job, get a home-based business. Get in business with us today here at MyEcon, and we'll show you how to make that income, that second income you need. See, because remember, you're giving away somewhere between 10 and 30% of your income to taxes. Yep. If you were not giving that away, you would have the income you're going to make on the second job. So instead of looking for a second job, let's look at a second income through a home-based business. And MyEcon is the business for you.
Now, Mr. Curry brought that up. That's the concept of income shifting. Mr. Curry is very strong. He believes that, and don't let me put words in your mouth, but if you're working a job in America, you can shift your income and put more back. You believe that most people can do this. Is that right?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. All the statistics show that anyone who do this will have these results. So here's the thing. Okay, if I work a home-based business, I am now qualified to take off things like mileage. If I work a home-based business, I'm now qualified to write off portions of my insurance, my cell phone, my internet. I'm now qualified to write off things like, I can employ my children to work for me. There's so many different things I get deductions for. Now, when I get those deductions, now all I have to do is adjust my W-4, have that money come in my paycheck on a weekly basis, monthly basis, however I get paid, and shift that money to pay off debt or to invest for my family. Everybody can do this. They just have to avail themselves to it. Now, we don't have time in a 30-minute show to get into the details. However, if a person would go to income365forlife.com and click on that link,
the number 365 and for life,
get started.
Now, we had an interesting question flash up, and it just flashed across. I want to make sure I get it right. Okay, Mr. Alvin Curry, what is the advice would you give to someone that has business, makes less than enough to get this knowledge, but they are ready to get all things in order? I've heard you slice this up in the conference before, because you don't believe people can't afford to do this.
They have a business already?
Yeah.
Well, if they have a business already, first and foremost, I would say to them is they need to look at what type of business they have. And if they have a business and it's not making them the income that they need right now, I would say probably they need to this may be the time for them to get a part-time job just to get the income. Because here's the thing, Brian, you can't get wealthy until you can fix your day-to-day needs, okay? I use a concept called stay inside the box. So when I stay inside the box, and what I mean by stay inside the box, I mean if you have bills come in every month, you actually have bills every day. Your bills are daily bills. So when you have daily bills, you're going to have daily expenses. So now when we look at this, we need to have daily income. For most people, that's going to be a job. When you work on a job, even though you don't get paid, but once every so often, you actually have daily income. So now you need to stay inside that box with the income you're working on your job, make your bills correspondent to that, stay inside that, and now do that. Then when you get outside the box, you need to work on the right kind of business, the business that's going to bring you the various income types. Leverage income. See, if you're working in a business and that business doesn't bring you leverage income, you're never really going to make enough income to do all the things you want to do because you are one person. Wealthy people always have leverage income.
You furnished us with a great illustration, so we're going to take me out and bring up your illustration, I guess?
Yes, let's do it.
Okay. Because I want them to see that. Okay, can you see it, Mr. Curry?
Okay, all right. So I assume that everybody can see this illustration. Okay, now here's what I do. Okay, I teach this to people who are with me, ladies and gentlemen. Stay inside the box. That is, whatever income you make, you need to have a steady stream of income to pay your steady stream of day-to-day expenses. You're going to have to pay lights, guys. You're going to have to pay for a place to stay, whether it's rent or mortgage. You're going to have to pay for food, shelter, and those type things. So you need a regular income to pay that, because every 30 days or so, somebody wants you to pay them some money on those things. Now, that being said, when you start talking about getting wealthy, I made it intentionally green. Get out on the green. When you look at a business, start looking at a business that pay you leveraged income. You must make income of someone's effort. Stop talking about, I just want to do it all myself. I don't want to trust nobody with my idea, this. The wealthy people, Sam Walton, built a business. And today, that income is leveraged by 2 million employees. So every person in Sam Walton's family, his children and grandchildren, are billionaires. He built that business in 1962. And he started building. Now that business today, the rest of us shop there and create for that family something called residual income. Residual income. That is, every single time we go back and forth to the store, we pay a cell phone bill. That's residual income. You need that coming into your life every day. And then, if you take Walmart as an example, they have multiple streams of income. They don't get caught up on Coca-Cola versus Pepsi. They just sell whatever you want to buy. They don't get caught up on one brand versus the next. They sell various brands of the same product and allow me as a consumer to buy what I want. So if I'm going to get a business, make sure I can get leveraged income. I can have other people help me make some income. I can then get residual income. Work I do one time, I can get paid on that ongoing over and over and over again. And then thirdly, I can get multiple streams of income. Then that's going to lead me to what's now called income to invest. I build investment income, and then the last stream of income is I live on passive income. If I go back to the Walton family, none of them work at the store. None of them do anything with the store. They all live on passive income. So we know everybody believes in this. We just know that they believe in it for someone else more than they do for themselves. So here's the thing, Brian. We already know everybody believes in leveraged income, because if you get a job, that's leverage. We know they believe in residual because they pay their phone bill, their light bills, and all this. We know they believe in this. We know they believe in multiple stream, because when they shop at the grocery stores and at Walmart, they buy multiple products from these stores all the time. And then, of course, they may not believe so much in investment because they don't know how to get that done. But if you're ever going to be free, you're going to have to one day become an investor and eventually live on passive income. These are the things that we do at MyEcon, ladies and gentlemen. Contact us today. We have a great special going on that's going to end this week. You need to contact us today at income365forlife.com. And if you'll contact us today, we will contact you and help you get an understanding of how all of this works. So we won't just start off another year talking about we went to church and watched night service and we said, Jesus coming to fix it. He sent it in the presence of a person. Don't be mad, but he sent that through us because he blessed us. He gave us his business to be a blessing to you. So he's not personally coming, but he sent that through this company, MyEcon, this Alvin Curry, this person. Get with us today so we can help you change your life in 2019.
Mr. Curry, I got to say thank you so much. You've been amazing. You've gotten better each week, homie. But the information you gave today, you gave it in such a practical way that makes so much sense. And you kind of encouraged me, and I suspect you encourage everyone else to listen. You know what? I can do that. You've given them a road. Income365forlife.com. If they are courageous enough to type that into a browser and do what it says do, leave their contact information, go through what it says to do, they can move their lives on a much more profitable path so that in the beginning of 2020, they're in a much better position than they are today. We got 5 minutes left in the show. I appreciate those of you that have hung out with us and the question that we got. Mr. Curry's that be based upon Now when we first agreed with Mr. Curry, we agreed on 3 shows, and then we was going to see if we could get a 4th in there.
Okay.
I kind of want to give you some room, Mr. Curry, in these last 5 minutes of the show here. Because people always say, who learns more, the teacher or the student? And the answer is always teacher. Because they reminded themselves of stuff and all that kind of thing. Is there anything that's come to your remembrance or that you want to say as we close out this show?
Yes. I would like to say this, Brian. Here's the thing, and it's so much more. We probably do need to do 1 or 2 more shows, big.
Thank you.
To try to get this really where we need to get to. Because here's the thing. I've been in marketing for 32 years. I've lived and I would live no other way. But so many people, because they tried things in times past, especially our baby boomer generation, many of them now find themselves on the verge of retirement. And they're struggling and they're fearful because they don't know what to do. They tried different things in time past and they were not successful. The reason they were not successful is they tried something that could not possibly work. See, this idea you're going to jump in and you're going to make $10,000 in 90 to 120 days and you ain't got to know nothing and all that. When you think back on that, that made no sense. But if you will get involved with us today, give us 30 days. And if you don't think that this program will work for you, then you can quit. I'm not asking you to, but at least give us 30 days. Let us talk to you about the details of what it takes to be successful. See, we have thousands and thousands of people who were fed up with traditional marketing companies who have joined MyEcon and who are successful today because they can and have been able to shift their income, minimize their expenses, eliminate their debt, and build investment and passive income. You will meet thousands of people who have already done this in MyEcon. So I want to challenge people today that if you were frustrated, if you say, hey, everything I tried before, it didn't ever work. I was the last one on the totem pole. I didn't get nothing. Give us one more shot. See, it's that old concept. I got knocked down, but if I can look up, I can get up.
I can get up.
Let's do it. Going up. Income 365.
I tell you, I don't think anybody gets more out of these shows than me. Because I know, to know, and this is one thing we say, and it's so harsh, but to know and then not do is the same as not yet to know. But you put us in a position where we can do. I talked to some people this morning, after our first show this morning. My wife and I, we talked to another couple, and they are very happily involved in MyEcon.
Good.
They're very happy, and it's a couple. They're very happily involved in MyEcon, and it was talking about why. And they, just like you described, they had tried other marketing companies that never worked for them. But this time, they got into it because of the education, and they are so happy, over the moon happy with MyEcon from what they're learning and what they're doing. They live in a little country town, and this information was not available to them until MyEcon, and they're happy. I just want you to know that. They love it.
Let me just say this really quickly here, Brian. This will work in small rural America. This will work in urban areas, the suburbs, and everywhere. It works for everybody who applies. Let me give you a quick example. You in North Carolina, I am in Georgia. If I want to come to Charlotte, North Carolina, this works for everybody, 100% of the time. Get on I-85 North, lock in, and don't stop. And 3.5 hours later, you'll be from Atlanta to Charlotte, North Carolina. It works every time for everybody that does that. Now, if I go on I-75 and head north, I can pray in tongues, and I'll never get to Charlotte, North Carolina. I must get, no matter how many times I didn't get to Charlotte, I have to get on the right freeway, I-85 North.
Love it.
To Charlotte. Thank you for having me on. Let's agree maybe 2 more shows, and we'll see where we go from there, sir.
I'm with it. Thank you very much. This has been Money Matters. My name is still Brian Keith McNeill. Our subject matter expert is Mr. Alvin Curry. He has just agreed publicly to do 2 more shows with us. Those of you who joined us on here live, thank you. I pray that you got some value, and I know that you did. That's our show for today. Look forward to seeing you next Wednesday at noon. God bless.